This entry on the concept of urban agroecologies is based on a collaboratively written chapter entitled Navigating Urban Agroecology with the Social Sciences, published in the book Urban Agroecology, Interdisciplinary Research and Future Directions. For a more detailed analysis, we encourage you to consult the chapter. I'm Jennifer Nicklay, one of the chapter authors, and a PhD student in the Land and Atmospheric Science program at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Taking a broader view first, let's consider agroecology, which consists of the relationships between people, communities, and more than human environments that together build agriculture systems to produce, cultivate, and/or harvest food. Wessel and colleagues in 2009 proposed that agroecology consists of movements, science, and practice, and the UN Food and Agriculture Organization identified 10 elements of agroecological relationships. Recently, Maiwa Montenegro DeWitt expanded on these threads in the article, What Grows from a Pandemic? Towards an Abolitionist Agroecology, where she writes that agroecology is an emancipatory movement to increase farmers' power and control over their own production, a pathway to revive indigenous and traditional knowledge systems, and a scientifically robust means of enhancing access to food grown in healthy, environmentally sound ways. When we focus on urban agroecology, then, we are calling into these agroecological traditions with the added dimension of doing so within cities. We affirm Joshua Arnold and Alana Siegner's argument in a later chapter of the book that urban agroecology allows us to center relationships and power dynamics, where urban agriculture, the more prevalent term, makes it too easy to focus on growing practices alone, on productivist outcomes such as yield or calories produced, or on meeting an arbitrary revenue threshold to qualify as a farm. We expand on their argument by highlighting plurality. Urban agroecologies encompasses the many movements, many forms of knowledge, many practices that are in relationship with each other in urban agroecologies. As we discuss in our chapter, regardless of discipline, researchers must all eventually grapple with the social context of that diversity and recognize that social actors, social relationships, and social institutions are central to urban agroecologies. Social science contributes rich histories, insights, tools, and action strategies for exploring society-environment relationships within urban agroecologies. For example, ethnographic research can highlight how racialized exclusion from urban farm programming is connected to wider processes of racism and discrimination. Participatory action research can be used to develop indicators that assess the degree to which urban growers are democratically empowered to shape their food systems, exploring governance structures and distribution of decision-making power. Evaluation research projects can contribute to community management, protection, and love of the food lands near where participants live. These examples of how social science methods explore the conditions driving, enabling, or hindering urban agroecologies, as well as its effects or outcomes. The picture I've included here demonstrates the role of social sciences within a transdisciplinary approach to urban agroecologies. Here we see Melvin Giles, a Black elder in a historically and predominantly Black neighborhood in St. Paul, standing in a community garden outside the oldest African-American Baptist church in Minnesota, less than a block from I-94, which was intentionally constructed through the middle of this Black neighborhood. They are standing among replicated plots to use soil and plant science to explore the environmental impacts of growing practices. And Melvin is talking to a group of extension educators from around the country, pushing them to consider community histories and knowledge traditions in their work, to imagine how growing food builds community wealth in both food traditions and soil health, and to deconstruct the systems of oppression, colonialism, and racism embedded in their land-grant university extension programs. My home discipline may be soil science, but I would not be fulfilling my responsibilities to Melvin and other growers without the social sciences. In conclusion, urban agroecologies can be seen as an emerging branch of critical social science, an engaged research praxis embedded within scholarly traditions and part of a wider agroecology movements. We encourage you to check out the chapter for a deeper exploration of how our intersecting social science lineages can inform a critical social science focused on dynamics of power and the potential of alternative, more equitable systems. Thank you.